Hi, my name is Tori, and I wanted to share some tips with you on getting your first tech job with little or no experience. Finding a job is a job in itself, from filling out the applications to going to the different interviews and then waiting around to hear back from these companies. It can be even more stressful when you are entering an industry that is new to you. And hopefully these tips that I share with you can help you, because I was offered my first tech job when I didn't even have a college degree. So you are very capable of finding a job in the market if you don't have, a huge technical background. So my first tip would be to invest in yourself. Make sure that you are investing in yourself. And the times that you have free time, or the times that you want to put that energy, back into yourself, back into your goals career-wise. So on the weekends, if you're normally a person that goes out at night and goes into the nightlife or anything like that, maybe take a few weekends off and instead do some studying. Check out some online courses that you can find for free, or some that cost just a few dollars, and spend that time instead doing some studying and learning some skills or brushing up some skills that you're maybe spotty on. There's a lot of free resources and inexpensive resources for you to use to teach yourself these skills and be able to prove yourself to these companies that you are the right candidate for the role that you're applying for. Also, when I say to invest in yourself, that does include your resume. You want to make sure that you have a solid resume. So you want to spend a good amount of time making sure that your resume is up to par. And you can spend the time to, make sure the layout and the fonts and, the verbiage are all, in line. Or you can find somebody, a professional, maybe a freelancer, to create the resume for you. And that will cost some money, but that is an investment in yourself. Otherwise, of course, you can spend the time to make sure that you have a really, stellar, pristine resume. And you may have to have, 3 or 4 different versions of your resume, just dependent on the type of role that you are going to want to be applying for.
You want to make sure that you are not eliminating yourself from these positions that you are applying for. A lot of companies rely on software to filter the resumes for them. So you could be the perfect candidate for a job and get disqualified solely because your resume wasn't perfect.
So if you are a person where you're used to hanging out with your friends on the weekend, you're used to always, maybe doing Netflix, every day after work to wind down, maybe just pick a few days where you're going to actually just be doing that self-studying. And if you can come up with extra few dollars, then use that to purchase some courses. You can use $20 to get into a nightclub, but you can also use the $20 to buy a cybersecurity course, which is 16 hours of video, or even a networking fundamentals course. My next tip would be to build your network. Make sure that you are networking. If you work for a company and there is a tech department, I would recommend to go and talk to those tech employees. Get acquainted with them if you haven't already. And you don't have to go over there and, brown nose or, be extra, but definitely just try to get to know them and pick their brain, ask about their background, what got them into tech, because they may provide you with some information that's useful to you on your tech journey, especially when it comes to, figuring out what jobs you want, what you want to explore, what you want to get into. You may not want to work at the tech department for this company either, but they may be able to, drop some gems that are just going to help you for, your tech role that might be at another company. Also, if you're able to, with your management, you can talk to your management and see if there's an opportunity for you to shadow the tech department. See if you can spend a couple hours with the tech department and see what they do day to day. See things with your eyes, maybe do some hands-on learning, and see if there's an opportunity for you to experience something like that. Now, if that isn't an opportunity for you where you can, not really do your job and be in a different department, then you can still, talk to the tech department management and just let them know that eventually, you would like to be in that department, you're interested in tech, and just ask, what do I need to be a good candidate, to be in this field. So it is okay to ask. I would also just recommend to just keep management in the loop, and just make sure you're going about it where it just doesn't seem like it's shady or anything like that, because management does talk. And if you just got hired at a company, I would recommend to make sure that you have, a good amount of tenure, in your position before you start to, try to move into other department. Because if the company hired you for, a customer service rep, they don't expect you to try to start doing IT administration, 3 months in. They didn't hire you for 3 months. They would have got a contractor, if that was the case. So if you don't have a job, or maybe you just don't have the opportunity to actually network with the tech department, then you still can use good old technology and find an online community or even find meetups to go to talk to other tech people. You can find these communities online. There's different forums if you just search them, or you can use a platform called Meetup. And you can search tech as a category and find different tech events that are hosted in your area. Go to them and network with other people who have the same interests as you. And you never know, you might meet people that can definitely get you in at their job. I've been to meetups where there have been, hiring recruiters there that are passing out their cards. That is a great way for you to network, is to use online and a meetup platform to search for other people who are willing to just have conversations with you, who are willing to help you, and who are willing to just share, ideas and passion for tech. So my next tip would be, during the job search on these job boards, I would filter the jobs by the ones that have entry level in them. I would filter by entry level jobs first, because there's a lot of companies and there's a lot of roles for people who are new to the industry, people that don't have a lot of background but are willing to learn. So I would filter my search of jobs based off of that key phrase, entry level, and look through there. I will also make sure I'm utilizing different job boards. LinkedIn, I feel like if you have the money to, you can pay for their premium service and use their premium account to find a job. I feel like it's useful. Otherwise, there's a lot of still free job boards for you to hop on to look for these jobs and apply and get connections and things like that. I would also say, after you feel like you have, exhausted all your options as far as entry level, then still look at jobs that aren't entry level, and definitely pay attention to the details of the job description, because the job might not say entry level, but it still might be a position that you are capable of doing, that you could prove that you are the right candidate for. So, even if it doesn't say entry level, definitely pay attention to the details and the qualifications. I will say to not just blindly apply to tech jobs out of anxiousness. Don't be so excited. Don't be looking for, just the instant gratification that you're just filling out applications to whoever and whomever, and whoever gets you. It doesn't matter as long as you're in tech. hey, if that's the way that you want to take that approach, I can't stop you, but I feel like you would have a bad experience starting off your career in tech if you just went after any old tech job and accepted any old tech job that was willing to have you, because then you might not actually be doing something that you truly wanted to do. You might not be doing something that you enjoy, that gives you freedom, gives you work-life balance. There's so many other factors that could play if you're just going after any type of tech job, and it doesn't matter who hires you as long as you get hired. So I wouldn't just, blindly apply to, these jobs. But my last tip would be the fact that along with the job search, you do need to practice patience, because it is going to take time to get that first job. You are going to be teased where you're getting interviews and all these things are happening and everything's looking great, and then you might not get the job. You might see, people around you getting the opportunities around you, and you're still waiting for one. But I want you to keep in mind that you want to practice patience and understand that what's for you will come. Timing. You can't control everything, and not everything is in your timing. And what's for you, like I just said, it will come. And you'll realize that there was something that needed to happen that was delaying the process. There's probably something that you needed to learn. Your want is going to be met, but it's going to exceed your expectations. And that's why you have to wait longer than what you anticipated on waiting, especially when it's something that's in your heart and not mediocre, because you're not going to be delivered mediocre when you're not a mediocre person. You're going to be given the best. So just make sure that you are being still, that you're practicing faith, and that you are being patient and recognizing that it's going to come to you. It might take just some time, but it's coming, and to just hold on. Thank you so much for watching this video. And thank you so much for your love, your support, your feedback, your likes, your shares. I appreciate that engagement with me very much. And, I just have been very blessed through my IT experience with people I've met, opportunities that I've had. So I just want to be able to pass on, information to you, somehow pay it forward. And, we face a lot of, closed doors, and we face times where it just feels like no one wants to help us out, but there's just as many people that are willing to help out than people that aren't. So again, hopefully this video was helpful, and stay tuned for the future videos that I'm gonna come up with.